Hello and welcome to Polloi Two, and today we have an unboxing video as I've received a few packages over the last couple of weeks, and I have to say I don't know what's inside any of these. These are all surprise packages that have just sort of turned up. These are people that have obviously sent me stuff before because I don't give my address out to anyone, so it's all going to be a bit of a mystery. I recognise a few of the names on the packages, so let's just get on and open them and see what's been sent in. We are going to start with this one, which is from Bob, who has sent me stuff over the years. This feels like badges. In fact, he messaged me to say he was going to send me some badges. I'm not quite sure what they are though, so let's just open this up and see what he has sent over. Here we go, we've got a few bits and bobs in here. So there's a little note. It says, "Hi Dave, Happy New Year, sending you some badges. All the best from Bob." Right, so let's see what he sent. He sent a few badges before. Badges are great actually, because as you know, I've got my nerd vests, and it's nice to be able to put a few badges on the nerd vest. So what have we got here? These are, well, this one is Captain Scarlet. That's the Spectrum logo from Captain Scarlet. Then we have here, this is Sarah Jane Smith. So Elizabeth Sladen. This is a Doctor Who badge. We've got a couple here. These are of Mark Singer, so these are from V. In fact, it looks like a lot of these are from V. So we have Michael Ironside there. We've got Diana. That's a pretty good one actually. I like that one. That shows her with her sort of face mildly ripped off, so you can see the lizard face underneath. And then that is Gabrielle Drake from UFO. She plays Gay Ellis, I think is her name. Or is it one or the other of those names is the character name, one is the actor's name, but that's a pretty cool badge. And then there's a few other pieces here which are from V as well. We've got the lady who is sort of Diana's nemesis within the enemies. I can't remember her name. And then we have, is it Julie? I think that's Julie. It's the sort of other character in V. Those are really cool, Bob. Thanks for those. I've missed one. There's another one here. That's the lady from the Waltons, isn't it, who sort of gives birth to the half alien, half human baby. I can't remember her name either. Those are very cool. I'm going to have to find space on my nerd vest for some of those. Next, this is a mystery box that just turned up. It doesn't have any details on it. It just has my address on the front. There was no other information, so let's open this one up and see what is inside it. What have we got in here? Oh, there's a note and there is something wrapped up in an envelope. So let's see what this says. It says, "Hi Dave, saw these and thought of you and your desire to take over the world with Miles Mayhem. I have a similar goal of creating an army of TIE fighter pilots, but only seem to get to 75 no matter how many I buy. Happy New Year to you and Mrs. Toy-polloi. Regards, Andrew." Oh, well, Andrew, thank you very much for thinking of me. So this is some Miles Mayhems. Let's go with my collection of Miles Mayhem. Sort of in my mind, I want to get a mile of Miles Mayhem. You'll have seen the video here on toy-polloi all about that. So here are two more Miles Mayhems to go in that collection. So thank you, Andrew. That's really very kind of you. I will put those with the rest. I don't think I'm anywhere near a mile. I think I'm probably about near a metre at the moment, so a long way to go. But you've got to start somewhere. This box is from Evander, who supports me as a Patreon. In fact, he sent me some pieces before. He sent me some really cool Gatchaman Battle of the Planets figures that I'd never seen, and I've restored those over on toy-polloi. So let's see what he has sent in. I have no idea what's in here, so it's all going to be a surprise. There's a few pieces wrapped up. There's a little card there. Let me move that out of the way. Oh, with some more bits and bobs inside. So let's open these up first. In fact, I can see these again look like the same Gatchaman Battle of the Planets figures. We have here, we've got Tiny and we have Keop. Those look amazing. These were figures that I've had never seen before. They are, I think they are made by Popy. Yes, in fact, you can see there it says Popy on the back. This poor Keop's had his cape ripped, but he comes with his little helmet there. He's looking in remarkably good condition. They're fairly sort of scruffy looking figures at the best of times, but that is actually in really nice condition. Then we have Tiny, which is one that he'd sent me before. Tiny that he sent previously had a smashed up leg, so I fixed that up. This one looks in great condition, really nice indeed. So those are two more of the Popy figures. I haven't got to Keop, and yeah, my Tiny was a little bit worn, so that's nice. In this little bag here, I can see it looks like there is the helmet for one of them as well. Let me just pull that out. Oh yeah, that's the helmet for Mark, I think. I'm going to have to check that. Or is that for Princess? No, I think that one's Mark or Jason's helmet. So that's the other figure that I have, so that can go on him. That is amazing. These are incredibly hard to find here in the UK, so that is so generous to send these in. I know that Evander is based in France, so he gets to see these a lot easier. They seem to be released there in greater numbers. Here in the UK, they weren't released much at all, so we've got a few other things. Oh, there's even a note at the bottom. I will have to read that note last, because I've started going through all of this first. So we have here, this is Nono from Ulysses 31, the cartoon series. This is a little wind-up version of him. Shall I try and wind it up? Sometimes these things still work. Look at that, he is still working. That is so cute. In fact, I have a wind-up version of the Odyssey, the spaceship from Ulysses 31, and that's the only Ulysses 31 toy I have. So this is absolutely incredible. I've wanted some Ulysses 31 toys for a very, very long time, but again, they are impossible to find here. So that is really cool. And then we have one other thing here, which is a bendy version of Ulysses himself. This is sort of a wired version, so it's a rubber toy with metal inside so you can bend it. He is really weird looking, such a strange idea. You can see there's a little bit of damage to his waist there, and maybe he had a cape or something. There's a little hole in the front of him. But you know, I've never seen one of those, and I don't have one in my collection, so even in a rough state like that, that is really very nice indeed. Needs a little bit of a clean up, but he's going to go straight in my display. Those are absolutely fantastic. So what does the note say that I missed? Let me have a quick look at the note. It says, "Dear Dave, prior to your videos this summer on Popy Battle of the Planets action figures, you could pick up figures for under 20 euros. Since then, the price of figures here in France are slowly creeping up to the price of Popy's Ulysses 31, which is far more than my toy-polloi budget can allow. But do not worry, I found some fun things for you." As you can see, this is a Popy themed donation box. I found a complete Keop. I have avoided touching him as he feels so brittle. I didn't think he was seen too bad actually, that one. And a tie that requires a lot of TLC. I was also able to get hold of Mark's helmet and very good reproduction vehicles that belong with the God Phoenix you were restoring. Ah, I forgot to open those. Those are in here. Let's have a look at those in a second. I don't know if you can do anything with the bendy figure of Ulysses, also by Popy, and the wind-up Nono that no longer seems to work well. Hope you find this donation interesting and are worthy of a video or two. Keep up the great work and look forward to seeing you on the next video. Evander. Well, thank you, Evander. This stuff is absolutely amazing. I can't believe I missed those in here. Let me open this up as well. So these are reproduction little vehicles for the God Phoenix. I picked up a small God Phoenix. There are two versions of those vehicles. There's a big one and a small one. I have the big one. I've got a couple of vehicles for that, but recently I managed to grab myself a small version of the God Phoenix from Lawrence at Toy Planet UK, and those have these tiny little vehicles. In fact, they're so tiny I'm dropping them. So we've got tiny little versions of the vehicles that clip inside it, and that's what these are, and that is the helmet for Mark. So actually, let me go and get my my smaller God Phoenix, and we can put these vehicles inside it. Okay, so yeah, here is my smaller version of the God Phoenix. There are two different sizes of this. This is this smaller one. It has a slightly less detail on it, but it's still a pretty cool toy. I picked this up off Lawrence, and yeah, I do need to do a little bit of work on it. For some reason, this front section won't clip down in place. It doesn't want to stay sort of where it's supposed to. But you can see there are these little sort of holes all over the ship, and that's where you put these vehicles. So I think one of these, let's put Tiny's little, or that's Keop's little vehicle, probably pops inside there. There's going to be one that will fit in there. These are tiny little holes that these ships fit in. So I know that one fits in the front because there's a little launcher in there, and then that'll sort of ping off when you press a button. These are great little vehicles. I didn't know people made reproductions of them, so that's really fantastic. And all the other stuff that you sent in, Evander, is amazing. This version of Ulysses I've seen a few times online, but it goes for sort of crazy money. It does need a little bit of repair. I think I can probably glue that split back together and a little clean, and he will just look absolutely fantastic on display. I'm not going to bend him too much because the wire inside does seem to perish. And you said that Nono doesn't seem to work. Let's give him one more go. He seemed to sort of fire up okay. Let's give him a little go. Oh, he's just about working. Considering the age of it, I actually think that's not too bad, the way he's moving. Sometimes you just don't want to risk breaking these things, so I might just leave him as is, but he is really cool. So thanks ever so much for all of this. This is really generous indeed, and thanks for your ongoing support on Patreon. Oh, it started up again. This package is one that I picked up off eBay last week. I've been enjoying restoring and repairing the vintage Transformers, especially G1 Transformers, and there are loads that have some really common issues, things that break all the time on them, like Metroplex's waist and Mirage's waist. And there was one other figure that I know is always broken, so I thought I'd see if I could find one for cheap. I have to say this wasn't particularly cheap. I think it cost me £12 in total, which I think is a probably a bit overpriced for what it is, but I really want to cover it, so I just sort of grabbed it and thought it would just be a fun project to do. So let's see if it's arrived safe and sound. It feels like it's packaged inside a takeaway container or something like that, so it should be okay. And the breakage that it does have is one that I already know about. So let's take a look. Oh yeah, it doesn't look like it's in too bad at all. So yeah, this is definitely a takeaway container. And inside you can see we have a Transformers Generation 1 hot rod, which I believe is all complete. Well, apart from weapons, but he's all complete, but he has one really common issue. So if you look at him here, you think, oh yeah, that doesn't look too bad, nothing wrong with him. But the hood part has snapped off, and this seems to be a really common issue. When you transform him, you have to pick this up and turn it around, yeah, it looks like this is broken in the standard place, which is just there. So this is going to be a fun fix, something that I wanted to have a go at for a while. He's also got incredibly floppy feet, so I will fix that at the same time. But yeah, interesting project that I wanted to do, and as I say, I've been really enjoying fixing up these Generation 1 toys, so just another little fix to keep me occupied. This package is from Paul, who has again sent me stuff in the past. I have absolutely no idea what is inside this. This is a complete surprise package. It just turned up, so it's going to be interesting to see what's inside. Let's just open it up and see what he's sent over. So inside was a bag of bits, and I can see there's all sorts in here. There's some A-Team figures, there's a New Adventures of He-Man Skeletor, we've got a Whiplash with a busted tail, and some G.I. Joe pieces. So yeah, let's open this and see exactly what we've got. Okay, let's sort these out into what they are. So we've got an A-Team Murdoch there. He's a little bit sort of rough and ready. Got a little bit of damage to his neck there, but he comes with a gun. We have got Hannibal Smith, again, fairly sort of rough and ready figure, a bit worn, but he's all there. We have another Murdoch here who is, well, missing quite a lot of. He's missing his arms, he's missing his head, he's missing his pelvis. But it looks like there's the sort of component parts that we can swap out between those two. In fact, they're very different. I've never realised that. The front of that is completely different to the back. Maybe that isn't Murdoch. I wonder what that's from then. It looks like it should be Murdoch, but I don't think it is. Intriguing. I'll have to look that one up. Then we have, it's a New Adventures version of Skeletor. So this is the one that has the sort of moving arms. You put a weapon in his arms and he flips about. He's missing his helmet and he's missing his cape, but I've got a video on how to make a cape tie now to sort him out. We've got a Whiplash who's in the standard sort of sorry state that all Whiplashes seem to be, with a broken tail, but he's got some useful parts on there. Then we have a modern version of He-Man. This is from, I'm going to say, sort of 2000 era or something like that. It looks like it should make noises or something like that. There's a battery on the back of it. Or in fact, it still works. Can you hear that? I will put this next to my microphone so you can hear him talking. That's pretty cool. I like that just for the sound effect, so that's definitely going to have to go on the shelf just so I can keep going and pressing his button every once in a while. Very funny. And then we have some bits from a couple of G.I. Joe vehicles. I'm not sure what that one is, but it's missing a load of pieces. And that I recognise that's from a little Jeep thing that I've restored. I can't remember the name of it. It's like a sort of off-road buggy that Tomax and Zamot drive. The one I have, I know the weapon is incredibly faded, so that will be very useful. I can swap that out. So Paul, thanks ever so much for those. That was a complete surprise, but these are really useful pieces. This next box has come from Graham at the Next 17. He makes modern sort of retro style Star Wars figures, which I've reviewed quite a few times over on toy-polloi. He said he got some new bits that he just wanted to send over. I have absolutely no idea what these are because he didn't let me know, so we will just open this up and see exactly what he has sent. So what have we got? We've got a few figures, so all nicely wrapped up. There's another little thing in a bag. Oh look, there's a little slug and a coin in there, and then lots of information. So let's move these all out of the way and we'll take a closer look at them. So yeah, as I say, this is from Graham at the Next 17. If you haven't seen this stuff, then do check out my reviews over on toy-polloi. He makes sort of the figures that Kenner didn't bother making, or that sort of Kenner should have made next, hence his name, the Next 17. I like this little card. This is very nice. It's like a little collector card, and it shows you what figures are available on the back. There's a bigger version of it here, so you can see this is all of the figures that he's made. And I'm guessing some of these new early ones will be on this list, so we'll open those up in a second and have a look. But yeah, he does make some really nice stuff. So there you go, the Next 17. And I know he now has a YouTube channel as well, so do go and check that out. I'll put a link to his details and stuff in the description, so go and subscribe there and also check out his stuff. But let's open these and see exactly which ones he has sent, and we'll use this checklist to work it out. So first up, we have this little baggie here. Let's open this one up. So this is a figure. It comes with a little sort of communicator, nicely wrapped, and he's also got a cape there. So which figure is this one? This is number 112. So this is Uncle Owen. Oh right, yeah, there you go. Look, that does look indeed like Uncle Owen. Let's put his cape on, see what he looks like with the cape in place. It's a sort of fabric version of the vinyl capes that the original figures came with. It's quite nice colour. It's a sort of very similar colour to the Sand Person cape. So let's put this on there, see what he looks like with all the cape in place. That's pretty cool. There you go. So there's Uncle Owen. What's next? Next up we have this guy. So he looks like a Cantina alien to me. I recognise him from the movies. I think they did make a Power of the Force 2 version of this guy. Looks a bit like the Devil. So let's see what he looks like when we take him out of the packet. Again, he's got a cape in there and he's got a gun. He's all wrapped up, so let's put the cape on and get the gun in place, and then we'll work out who he is. Oh, this is one of the more complicated capes that, that Graham has been working on. I like these. They're a nice design. It's a weird looking cape. You can see it doesn't look like much like this, but when you put it on the figure, it ends up looking like a cape, but with a sort of under cape as well, on the inside. It's a very nice design. So you put that on like that, and you fold this down and around. Yeah, so you've got this sort of under cape and then an outer cape that folds around, and then he comes with a gun as well, which we can slot into his hand. Ooh, bit of a tight fit on that. There we go. Yeah, it's quite a sort of devilish looking character. So let's take a look and see what number this is and what this guy's name is. So he is number 106, and this is Devilman or Malok. So yeah, another cool looking figure there. Let's put that to the back and see what the next one is. This looks like another Cantina alien. This one doesn't have a cape, just comes with a weapon. So this is the sort of Wolfman looking thing. Same body. It looks like Graham's using the same body for all of these figures. So it's the same body, just cast in different colour plastics and that. So this one's actually got sort of different shaped arms there, but otherwise the body part is the same. So this is number 108, and this is Wolfman or Lak Shrivrak. Yeah, very cool looking figure. It's certainly going to be great to put with the other Star Wars figures. There's a lack of Cantina aliens, so it's nice to have a few more of them. And then who's this figure here? This looks a bit like a Luke Skywalker in a sort of Tatooine version. He's got a poncho on him. Let me get the piece of plastic off, which is wrapped really quite firmly on this one. Whoop, there we go, slide that off. So yeah, this is a sort of Tatooine version of Luke Skywalker, wearing a little hat there. He comes with some binoculars and a nice little poncho that just fits over the top. So let's look underneath. So yeah, this is the same body. It's a quite clever use of it, just recolouring those and adding a few extra details. And yeah, we've got a nice Luke poncho there to go with the set. So there's 4 figures, and then we've got a tiny little bag as well. And in this bag we have a collector's coin and the slug thing from Jabba's palace, which is quite cool. In the background of Jabba's palace, it's a sort of blink and you'll miss it type creature. There is this little slug thing. It's stuck to the ceiling right behind Jabba, and it's quite a unique looking thing. So yeah, Graham's made a version of that. That's pretty cool. It's a nice lot of detail in there. It's a strange thing. I'm going to have to find some way to stick it above my Jabba the Hutt in my display. Maybe a bit of double-sided tape or something. I can stick that to the roof above. That is a really unique thing. That, yeah, Kenner never made that back in the day for sure. And then we have this collector's coin. So let's take a look at this. This is like the versions that were given away with the Power of the Force figures. So this is for the Wampa. This is Hoth indigenous creature, the Wampa. On the front, that's a nice little image, and on the back it says Wampas are fierce, ice-dwelling carnivorous predators known for their strength and aggressiveness. One of the other characters and figures that Next 17 has made is a tiny baby version of a Wampa, which I have reviewed as well, and that's pretty sweet looking thing. It's so unique, so this coin can go with that, or it can go with the larger Wampa. So yeah, thanks to Graham at the Next 17 for sending this over. These are really nice. I will hopefully do a full review of these over on toy-polloi soon. So I do need to say say a massive thank you to all of you guys for sending stuff in. That's really very kind. These are amazing items, and there's certainly some fun projects and things to work on in there, and some great things to add to my collection. So it's really very kind of you to take the time and effort to send stuff in, and thanks again. If you've enjoyed this video, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the bell to be notified each time I upload a new video. And if you've really enjoyed it, then head on over to my main channel, Toy-Polloi, and subscribe there as well. And thanks for watching.